It's almost time for the Europa Conference League final. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today's video is going to centre around the Europa Conference League final, which is set to take place tonight. It will pit Real Betis against Chelsea. The Spanish side, managed by a known face to Chelsea, Emmanuel Pellegrini, will take on Chelsea and their head coach, Enzo Maresca, in what is going to be a very intriguing finale to what has been a tournament I've not really paid attention to because, let's face it, with all due respect, Chelsea were expected to win this. Chelsea were expected to win this competition right from the get-go. They were expected to win this competition by any means necessary, and they are one final hurdle away from doing that and making big history in doing so. As far as what Real Betis are concerned, they have within their ranks a current Manchester United player on loan with the Spanish club that is well known to Chelsea and would be absolutely hilarious if he was to be a big contributing factor in stopping Chelsea from making history and, of course, finishing this season with a trophy. We're going to get into the prediction side of things. We're going to get into the analysing, prediction, all of that stuff in this preview here for the Europa Conference League final, which is set to take place in Poland. But before we go any further in discussing all of that and much more, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And I also encourage you all to get involved in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts, comments, opinions, but most of all, of course, your predictions for how you see this game going. Do you think the favourites will go on to win this competition, or do you think the underdog story of Real Betis and Antony in particular are going to stop this Blues and Enzo Maresca machine? Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling down there in the comment section. No prizes for guessing who I want to win this game on Wednesday night. But I'd love to know what you guys are thinking and feeling with your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, down in that comment section below. Right, sound good? Fantastic. Right, let's go on with the conversation ourselves. Let's talk Betis, let's talk Chelsea, let's talk Europa Conference League final. Look, this was a competition that Chelsea were fully expected to win right from the beginning of the season. A lot of money has been pumped into this Chelsea team and this squad, and that alone should have put them as favourites, and they were favourites by a clear margin. And so, it's only natural that they've made it at least this far in the competition, but standing in their way is Real Betis, a team that Manuel Pellegrini has taken over, a team with a couple of notorious faces from Premier League past and from some other places as well. So it's not exactly like this is a completely unknown team or one of the more unknown teams that we've only become accustomed to seeing this season alone in this competition. But this is probably going to be the toughest test that Chelsea have faced all season long in this competition. It has pretty much been as smooth sailing as a ride you can get in a knockout competition for Chelsea. It was smooth sailing in the league phase. It was smooth sailing in the knockout stages for the most part. One or two blips here and there that was seen as very insignificant in hindsight. But this is probably going to be their toughest test yet. A Real Betis side that are not exactly easy to beat. They don't lose many games, but they don't also win them either. A Real Betis side that, like I say, have got a couple of known faces in there. I know he's not going to be playing, but there was Hector Bellerin before he got injured. There's Giovanni Lo Celso, of course we know him from his time at Tottenham. Pablo Fornals, of course, we know him from his time at West Ham. Isco, of course, very known in Spanish football and very known around the world. He used to play for Real Madrid at one point, an absolute quality player during his prime. And of course, the man on form right now. The man who a lot of people that are hating on Chelsea and rivals of Chelsea are hoping and praying that he has some sort of say in this game. The Brazilian winger, known as Antony, didn't exactly have the best of times at Manchester United, but since going on loan to Real Betis, he has been lighting up La Liga and lighting up Real Betis, and everybody that is wanting Real Betis to win is hoping and praying that he has the game of his life to stop Chelsea from winning a trophy at the end of this season, because this really would be the icing on top of the cake for Chelsea in this scenario. It's been a season in which, going into it, I don't think a lot of people had any clear indication as to what exactly we were going to get out of Chelsea. Bit of a basket case, young, inexperienced, unproven manager, head coach, and obviously squad overall. Their goal was to obviously get Champions League football. We didn't know if that was going to be possible. They could have finished anywhere between 4th and 17th. My prediction was for them to finish 10th, I believe. So I'll hold my hands up and say I got that wrong. But fair play to them for achieving Premier League football, stepping up when it Champions League football, stepping up when it really mattered most. And like I say, now there is the opportunity of creating big history. Chelsea could be the first team in world football, in European football, to win all 3 tiers of European football. They've already won the Champions League. They've already won the Europa League. Just the Europa Conference League to go. And look, many people may laugh and many people may not care about this kind of game or this kind of result. And to be honest, I don't necessarily, because Chelsea were expected to win this competition anyway, regardless of who they were going to come up against, regardless of what the scenarios could have been that played out in this competition. Chelsea were expected to win this regardless. And if they do go on and win, fair play. You know, you can only win the competition that you're in. You're there because you're there on merit, because you flopped last season to obviously get to this point where you're in the Europa Conference League. And realistically, you know, it's not going to be the end of the world if you don't win this competition. But if you do win it, it's going to be a bit of a nice send-off for the fans. Like I say, it builds that winning mentality, instills a winning mindset into these young players. I mean, just look at how much these players celebrated obtaining Champions League football. Not winning it, not winning the Premier League, not winning any silverware, but obtaining Champions League football. They celebrated it very, very happily and excitedly. And it's understandably so a little bit from a team that is very young, very inexperienced, barring 1 or 2 exceptions. Enzo Fernandez is a World Cup winner, for God's sake. But you get my point. It's a very inexperienced team that overcame certain odds and certain expectations of them this season, when many people had their doubts about them, when many people doubted their ability and their talent and their quality to actually get across the finish line. They proved a lot of players, a lot of pundits, a lot of people like me, a lot of people wrong in terms of their expectations and predictions for Chelsea Football Club for this season. So you can see how much it meant to them to obtain Champions League football. Now it's about installing that winning mentality, and this could be a very good building block and a very good platform to build upon, because it's still a trophy. At the end of the day, this is still a trophy. There is still big history to be made here. And honestly, I'm sure that is being echoed by everybody associated with Chelsea. Like I say, if they don't win it, I don't think it'll be the end of the world for them. I don't think any Chelsea fan is going to be extremely, extremely disappointed. I know they'll be annoyed. I know there will be a certain level of, I guess, frustration in terms of not winning this competition when you get so far in it. You, of course, are the favourites to go on and win it. But I don't necessarily think that overall it is going to bother Chelsea too much. But I think this could be a very good place to start and ingrain that winning mentality. Jose Mourinho's always done it. I know that maybe you can't... I don't know how people compare the League Cup to the Europa Conference League, but when obviously Jose Mourinho first came in at Chelsea during his first stay, he'd always win the League Cup. He would win the League Cup to install that winning mentality and to prove to the players, you can go on and do this. Now let's build from here. Let's go for Premier League. Let's go for FA Cups. Let's try and aim higher and higher each and every season in terms of silverware. So this will be a very good start for Enzo Maresca and for Chelsea. As far as what team news goes for Betis, like I said before, there's no Hector Bellerin. Hector Bellerin is going to be missing out through this for injury. They've got a couple of other players as well that are ruled out. Giovanni Lo Celso himself is a doubt for this game. So there are a couple of big absentees potentially there for the Spanish side. I'm hoping that everyone's going to be okay, so that is going to be fit to play. And I'm obviously hoping, like I say, that the likes of Antony and Isco and even Pablo Fornells can actually come to the forefront on this and actually cause some damage and some danger for Chelsea. Like I say, Betis are a difficult side to break down at times, but they may not exactly be the most clinical in front of goal, which could work in Chelsea's favour, especially with the way that Chelsea have obviously improved in recent weeks defensively. Even Robert Sanchez has actually been putting in some okay performances. I know the bar wasn't exactly set high beforehand, but the improvement is somewhat there. As for Chelsea, the only real absentees of note are Wesley Fofana, Mikel Mudryk, who is still suspended, and Romeo Lavia, who is ineligible because he wasn't selected for this Conference League side all season long. That's going to be a big miss, but they still should be able to get the job done, in my personal opinion. Like I say, they have the squad to do so. They've got the likes of Cole Palmer. Nicholas Jackson's going to be back in the starting 11 after serving a domestic ban. He's probably chomping at the bit to kind of redeem himself for what obviously happened in him getting suspended in the first place. And like I say, I think the defence has certainly improved in recent games. I think the midfield is a danger. I think the midfield is certainly a strong point of Chelsea's. And like I say, they have individual talent that can get them through this game. Like I say, the likes of Cole Palmer, the likes of Nicholas Jackson. And so whilst I do wear this shirt in hope and pray that Betis can perform an underdog sort of victory and a triumph over Chelsea, because I think it would mean more to Betis than it would for Chelsea. And obviously, I'm a Liverpool fan, so of course I'm not going to want Chelsea to win any silverware or any trophies. I unfortunately have to go with Chelsea to win. Now, here's what I will say. The past two final previews and predictions that I've done on this channel have been for the Europa League and for the FA Cup. On both occasions, I predicted the eventual loser of both of them games to win 3-2. I predicted Man United to win 3-2. They lost 1-0. I predicted Manchester City to beat Crystal Palace in the FA Cup final by 3-2. They lost 1-0. So, I'm hoping my curse is going to continue. And if so, I should therefore predict 3-2 to Chelsea. And it should be then 1-0 to Betis. I'm hoping and praying. I am hoping and I am praying that this is going to happen. However, I've got to be honest, I've got to be reasonable, and I've got to say that as much as I want Betis to win, I'm not obviously going to just predict something for the sake of predicting something. There has to be some sort of merit to it, there has to be some sort of weight behind it, and some sort of argument to put forward about it. So with that being said, as much as it pains me to say it, as much as I don't want this to happen, I can't stress that enough, that I don't want this to happen. Chelsea to win. Chelsea to win is what I'm going for. I hope Antony turns up. I hope Isco turns up. I hope Real Betis defenders and goalkeeper have the game of their lives to win this competition. But I'm going for Betis to win. Sorry, I'm going for Chelsea to win. I want Betis to win. I'm going for Chelsea to win. And I'm going to say 2-1 to the Blues. Just put that up here. 2-1 to Chelsea. I hope I'm wrong. I pray I'm wrong. But I just think the individual talent of Chelsea is going to drag them over the line. I see them getting it done within 90 minutes. This is not going to be as smooth sailing as what they've found the vast majority of this competition, Chelsea. But at the same time, I still expect Enzo Maresca's side to get across the finish line here, win the Europa Conference League, make history, and finish off this season with a trophy. And what is going to be a successful season for Chelsea in terms of not only winning silverware, but obtaining their objective of getting Champions League football as well. So fair play to Chelsea if that is to be the case, but fingers crossed that Real Betis can pull off a bit of a shock in Poland on Wednesday night. Look, there you have it. Those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of the Europa Conference League final that's coming up on Wednesday night? Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling down below in the comments section. Drop your predictions, people. Do you see Betis pulling off an underdog story, or do you think the favourites in Chelsea are going to live up to that tagline? Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling down below. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way up. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. Thank you all for your brand new or continued support to the channel. Whichever one it is, it really does mean the world to me, guys. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Will always be appreciated. Never taken for granted. You guys are absolutely awesome, and I can't thank you enough. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will see you speak to you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your night. Speak to you all again very, very soon.